everybody, it's Lee with Olde Towne Cutlery, and now we're going to talk about the Apex Mini Sharpening System. We've already talked about the Apex Pro, and that is the full-blown, full-size 2-inch by 6-inch plate. That is something that you would keep, say, at your house, in your garage, in the shop, something like that. But you need something that is an on-the-go sharpener, something that you can take with you, something that you can keep around the base camp or the hunting lodge, something like that, so that you can do some sharpening when you are on the go. Let's talk about the various components of the system. First, we have a 3D printed base. Now, this is very similar to the full-size version, just shrunk down a bit. It is honeycombed on the inside, and that makes it very durable. If you drop this on the floor, on a concrete floor, it's not going to hurt it at all. Note that it does have some magnets in it, so when you put a plate down, that plate snaps in place and does not fall out. Additionally, it has a ceramic rod on this side. Now, that ceramic rod can also be removed simply by pushing on one side, and it pops out of these two little snaps. The ceramic rod is about 1200 grit, and that's what we're going to use for our final treatment on sharpening the knife. Let me show you briefly how it works. First, we're going to take our coarse plate and we're going to set it in the top of the unit. Then you will notice that there are angle guides in the end, just as there are on the larger unit, and there is a 16-degree angle and a 20-degree angle. We simply slide the knife into the angle to feel what that degree feels like. Once we have indexed our hand, we're simply going to transfer that to the stone itself. And you can hear the diamond doing its work. You'll notice that I'm picking up my hand slightly as I finish the stroke and go through the belly. That is the exact way that it would feel if you drag it through the slot. So you want to simply replicate the effect. To feel what that feels like in the opposite direction, you simply spin it around. And once you've mastered that small muscle coordination, you will be able to do that with ease. Then we simply pinch that plate out with these little indentions right here. We can get our finger underneath it, and we're going to go to the fine grit, and you can hear the difference in the abrasive. To finish this off, we're simply going to turn it over, and we're going to use the ceramic rod to give a final hone to our knife. Now, another benefit to the ceramic rod is that being round, it can sharpen a serration as well. So if you have a bread knife or serrations on an everyday carry style knife and you want to sharpen that, you simply lay the knife with the serration on this ceramic rod and you slide back and forth. Okay, a little bit more about the system itself. The two angles are 16 and 20. Those are probably the most common angles that we are putting on knives as they come into the shop for sharpening, so that's why we included them on this system. The Pro system does have a total of 4 angles, but know this, 20 degrees is right in the middle of the system, of the spectrum, and if you can master what 20 degrees feels like, we say you've really kind of mastered everything. If the knife needs to be more acute, just lay it over a little bit more. If you're doing a bushcraft knife that needs to be maybe a little bit more obtuse, just stand it up a little bit more. So 20 degrees is the thing you really want to master first. A little bit more, we're going to give you one piece of paper with this system. This one piece of paper contains everything you need to know. It gives a full set of instructions, as I have just done here. It gives you a description of the types of knives and applications of the different degrees, and it talks about the warranty. The warranty, of course, is covered by Olde Towne Cutlery and DMT Abrasives, which is an American company. So you have 2 reputable companies backing up the warranty. Finally, we're going to give it to you in a box that is also its storage box. You simply place the unit, which fits perfectly in the storage box, along with its instructions, and you've got something to keep it in to travel with. It's a sturdy mailer box. Stay tuned for more. That's the Apex Pro and the Apex Mini Sharpening Systems. We do have some things that are coming up, so always keep an eye on our newsletter for the latest stuff. Visit us in the store in Cumming, Georgia, or online at oldtowncutlery.com. And thanks for watching.